for the growth. Stress management. We need to manage stress. So we need to school ourselves to wake and get ready not for work, but for the day. You should say the day is mine. And in the day, I have a small part of work. So I need to school myself for that. I need to understand that on the way to work, I should be able to give my brain a lot of variations and changes. So I need to look around at the environment and stimulate my brain. I may listen to music, different music. I may listen to humor. I may listen to bio sketches of various important people, significant people in our life to get motivated. Managing stress requires meditation, journaling our thoughts, conflict resolution skills, leading and a balanced life, present at the moment. When we are present at the moment, our mind is wandering away to so many thoughts. We are never completely on the present. Physical activation, sports, so whatever we like. And it's important that we have productivity skills. If we don't have productivity skills, we are going to land up with stress and create problems. So as I've said, taking alternate route to work and stimulating your mind, plan your work and work your plan. So you have made a plan, make it work. Otherwise, it will be, again, a stressful thing for you. We need to take allocated breaks. So when it's your break time, you need to cut yourself off and shut and say, that's my break time. I can't go back to work. And when I'm working, that's my work time. I can't go to my personal life unless there are certain situations where you need to move, shuttle between the two. Just as you plan your work, plan your time away from work. At the day's end, leave your work behind you and focus on your plans. I think COVID has taught us this. So very lovely message. COVID has given us huge unprecedented problems, multiple problems, and perhaps in the future, many more problems are going to come into our children. But it has taught us one important thing. Family is important. Your health is important. You are healthy, you are protected. Your family is your greatest support. So work to live. Relaxation is important. Instead of having coffee, drink water, drink juices, because that's going to infuse you. Dehydration is going to cause fatigue. Coffee and soft drinks that contain caffeine is going to keep you going, but it's not going to remove the stress. It's going to add the stress. Research has shown 1 in every 5 nurses will experience burnout in their nursing career and consequently leave the profession. That's very alarming. So do you know that more than 40% of hospital nurses reported being dissatisfied with their jobs? And this is way back in 2001. If I have to do a survey today, I will find perhaps more dissatisfied nurses. University graduate nurses are more susceptible to burnout because the theoretical experience far outweighs the practical experience. Younger graduate nurses have a higher incidence of burnout because they are not clinically prepared. So they are having a lot of stress. Did you also know that adding 1 patient per nurse to hospital staffing level increased the nurse burnout by 23% and job dissatisfaction by 15%? More than 40% of nurses who reported high burnout and job dissatisfaction intended to leave their jobs within the next year. So we need to pick up these nurses and understand what is there in them, how can we save them. If we think that this nurse is a problematic nurse and let her go and I'm going to get another nurse who's going to give me heaven, then we are wrong. We need to understand we need to make heaven in whatever we have. So what's burnout? We know it is depersonalization, emotional exhaustion, and a sense of low personal accomplishment. So can you imagine a human being who is depersonalized, emotionally completely exhausted, and a personal accomplishment is not there? Will you call that person a human being? So do we want to go into the state of burnout? Certainly not. Burnout is definitely different from stress. Stress is a subjective feeling. I find a snake in front of me, I'm scared. But the person who's working with snakes is not scared of snakes. So therefore, one nurse who's stressful about a particular thing, another nurse may not be at all stressful because she's already got acclimatized to that situation. So burnout is not simply excessive stress, but it is a complex human reaction to stress. The way we react to stress leads us to have burnout. There are various causes. And when I look at these causes, I'm sure you will agree with them. Whenever an organization is restructured and changes, we are always having stress. When roles are not clearly defined, we do not know what to do. When there is staff, equipment shortages, when there is increased workload, when there is lack of support, recognition, very few rewards. The doctors in my unit take credit. I have done such a lot of the patient. I never get recognition. Lack of autonomy at the bedside, yet the expectations are high. Reality shock. Somebody took me for nursing. My mother told me to get into nursing. And when I look nursing, I say, oh God, I've got to do all these things. And that's a big shock for me. Underutilization for nursing abilities. So many potentials we have in our nurses, but we never utilize them. Feeling trapped in a situation. There was a nurse who was caught for doing wrong, was video recorded. The sister in charge kept on telling her, look, you need to oblige to what I'm telling you. If you don't, you'll be in a problem. So you get trapped sometimes into situation. You have sacrificed safety to complete tasks. So many times I've seen nurses, they don't have gloves, they don't have PPE, and they're sacrificing their safety and just going on taking care of their patients. Such high kind of care that we give to our patients is absolutely saluting, but not at the cost of yourself. Poor leadership practices, lack of clinical competencies and coping abilities will give you stress. So this was a research that I found in 2001, and I've summarized most of these points in whatever I've said earlier. Burnout is in 4 stages. So in the stage 1, the initial belief that new position job is going to satisfy your expectations. You have boundless energy and enthusiasm. You have a huge positive outlook on your new position, and you believe that you're going to be able to achieve and do things. In the second stage, you start becoming aware that expectations are too much. I can't do this. I have been given 3 ventilator patients and I expected to do the best care that I have to give. Not possible. In the beginning, you do it. Later on, you can't. Needs are not satisfied. I have certain needs. I'm looking exhausted. I'm looking tired. The day I take a leave, you tell me, why did you take a leave? You were okay yesterday. Rewards and recognitions are scarce. There is a lot of disillusionment and disappointment that's growing. In the stage 3, early enthusiasm and energy gives complete way to chronic fatigue, irritability, and there is burnout symptoms, which are shown in a physical, physiological, and social interactions. In the stage 4, despair. You're completely despaired. Life seems pointless to you. You feel, what are you doing? You start thinking pessimistically to most things around you. You are exhausted mentally and physically, and you can land up with suicidal thoughts, stroke, and heart failure. So the signs and symptoms of burnout are negative outlooks, inability to express sympathy, empathy towards patients, physical and emotional exhaustion, excessive mistakes, excessive amounts of sick leave, substance abuse, alcohol abuse, becoming detached from colleagues, aggressive behavior, job dissatisfaction is very low. You feel hopeless, you feel disempowered, you feel frustrated, feeling as if you are accomplishing less no matter how hard you're working. And the impacts of burnout is tremendous. On the nurses, the quality care is low. The potential for medication errors is high. So the quality of care and patient safety is highly compromised. Medication adverse effects for patients and patient mortality, increased patients' neglect, cross-infections, complications, patient dissatisfaction. On the part of management, high rates of employee turnover, increased employee absenteeism. It increases hostile and toxic work environment. Let's finally now look at the strategies of how to manage burnout. So let's start with personal lifestyle. I need to obtain adequate sleep, nutrition, physical activity. I need to identify and maintain my priorities. I need vacation. I need to participate in my own interests and perhaps grow much more out of my interests depending upon my developmental needs as per my age. I need to meditate, practice yoga. I need to have sense of humor. I need to laugh. I need to guffaw out. I need to recognize my limitations. I need to have self-reflection of what I have done, what I have attained. Did I really hurt the person when the person told me that I have hurt her? Seek emotional support. Practice assistance from family. So you can have one person in the family who can be your real mentor. Maintain network of friends. Engage in spirituality. In professional lifestyle, we need to have realistic goals. We know that we have got limitations in patient care. We need to vary our work routine. We need to have objectify our negative interactions, take time away, become an advocate, seek support for colleagues, grieve well, enhance communication skill. And at the organizational level, we need to survey about our organization culture. Where has our culture gone? Is it going towards more empathy? Is it going towards more comfort? Or are we becoming too financially goal oriented? Create a healthy work environment, encourage and maintain leadership. So bring up people whom you find leaders, engage in participatory decision making, foster good interpersonal relationship, encourage and provide access to training targeted at psychological well-being. I'm sure when I've written this, nothing is new for any of you, but I also agree with you in the leader's position that implementing this sometimes becomes so very difficult.